Is your life exactly the same as it was last year? Or have you improved? Be honest with yourself. You know, most guys don't sit down and grab a pen and actually write down how they think they're doing. Now, you might think that's a wishy-washy, fluffy thing to do. You know, why am I going to sit down and journal or write down how I think my life is going? See, that's the issue. You're unaware. And it's only when you just pause and you grab a journal and you sit down and you start writing that you get a sense of where the fuck you are and where you're going. You are the CEO of your own life. Now, in a traditional business, let's say it's a business of more than 100 employees, the CEO is aware of what the hell's going on with the business. Whether they're growing, whether they're losing money, he's aware. And he doesn't wait years before he starts addressing the problem. He's paid the big bucks to make the executive decisions. When things need to change, they change. Now, you got to see yourself as your own CEO of your own life, of your own company. Where are you heading? What kind of life are you experiencing right now? In every aspect, health, wealth, relationships, in your spirituality. I mean, dissect each and every single facet of your life. Okay, health-wise, man, I'm 8 kilograms heavier than I was this time last year. Why am I carrying an extra 8 kilograms of fat? My clothes are starting to feel tight on me again. This is unacceptable. I need to look at the diet that I'm consuming right now and make changes, drastic changes. Otherwise, I can continue to gain weight. And maybe the year after that, I'm another 8 kilograms heavier. And it compounds in the same way that good habits compound to improve your life. So do bad habits. When it comes to your finances, are you earning the same as you were this time last year? Or have you taken proactive steps? And this is assuming that you want to improve your finances, which I hope every single one of you does, right? Because there's no point of making the same amount of money. If you can make more, then make more. I'm not telling you to quit your steady job to start an entrepreneurial venture just because you think it can make you more money. No, be calculated. But if there's an opportunity to earn more, for goodness sakes. Why not? Look, this all boils down to the standards you have for yourself. If you really love yourself, you'll set extremely high standards. And even if you gained a kilogram of fat over the course of a month, you would find that unacceptable and you'll make changes straight away. You know, someone might look at Cristiano Ronaldo, the professional football player, and think this guy's a bit extreme. Why is he still taking his health seriously? He's 39, he's achieved everything. It's because of the standards he holds. He cares about himself so much that he expects the best from himself. Consistently, year after year. That's why he's been able to play. I mean, Euro 2024, which starts in a few days. This will be, I don't know, I think he played Euro 2004. I mean, this was 20 years ago, his first Euros were. 20 years ago. That's 20 years of consistency at the highest level. Now, I'm using him as an example because most of you guys know who he is, right? You could say the same about LeBron, Tom Brady. I mean, we're talking about athletes here, but you get the point. They care about themselves so much. I think LeBron invests something like $1 million a month on his health, on having the best chefs around, in cold therapy, you know, red light therapy, all sorts of stuff. Right? They love themselves so much that they are willing to do the work. And they may appear extreme. And this is the thing, guys. You might start taking your health seriously. You might start looking at your macros and saying, no, I'm not going to eat that. It's got 300 calories in it. I don't need that right now. And someone might say, oh, come on, don't be extreme. Eat it. You got to be careful of those people. They'll try and shame you into staying where you are. They'll say things like, oh, come on, don't be one of those guys counting every calorie. Don't be one of those guys. Don't be this, don't be that. No, be that guy. If you're a fat fucking bastard and you've gained loads of weight, you need to watch every damn calorie that goes into your mouth. You're doing that because you love yourself, not because you want to punish yourself. It's not done for no reason. There's a reason behind it. It's because you love yourself and you want the best for yourself. So you will demand more of yourself, which means I refuse to eat garbage any longer because it has led me to this point. Neglect has led me to the point to where I am 8, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 pounds heavier. And that's unacceptable. And going forward, enough's enough. I will no longer tolerate complacency, which is what it is. It's neglect and complacency. It's just a muffin. It's just an extra couple of hours of sleep. It's just this. It's just that, right? It's just this. No, it's not. Everything affects everything. If you don't brush your teeth at night before you go to bed, you may not brush it the next morning. You might tell yourself, I'll brush it when I come back home. If you don't do your, prepare your bed before you leave for work, get it nice and organized, nice and tidy. If you don't do that, then you're probably not going to be tidy with your desk setup, right? And when your desk isn't tidy, you're not in the right frame of mind to want to execute on your work. When your environment is clean, when it's hygienic, when it's well organized, it means your mind is well organized. Everything affects everything. It really does. So I spoke about health. I spoke about finances, relationships. Maybe you've been tolerating situationships. I hate that phrase, but I'm going to use it because everybody knows about it, right? Maybe you're in a situation right now with a woman. You're not sure of whether you want to commit to her. You're just enjoying the company. She's good to have around. Man, don't lower yourself to that level to where you're just having people around you who you don't want to be with, but because they make you feel wanted a little bit, that you're having them around. That's unfair on the girl, first of all, because she may have a different scenario in her mind about what you guys are. She might see you guys as exclusive. And look, some girls will ask and say, what is this, right? Just don't be that guy. Don't lead her on only to break her heart later on down the line. And look, this also applies to girls, but my channel is mainly dedicated to the men. But there are girls out there that definitely know they don't want to be with a guy, yet they will make this guy feel like he's her man, and she makes him feel like this is a relationship. And the guy's excited, and maybe he's planning stuff in the future with her and this, and then later on she tells him, I need space, or I can't do this anymore, or I need to discover myself, or whatever, and the guy's just completely heartbroken. So you wouldn't like to be on the receiving end of that yourself as a guy. Don't do that to a girl. Right? Make sure that if you do have a woman around you, it's a woman that you want to have around you, not one that you're tolerating because you're lonely. If you're lonely, it's probably because you don't have something that you're working on, that your purpose, your life's mission isn't in front of you. You're not working on something meaningful. So you're just like, oh, I'm chilling, I've got time. Let me just hang out. You're 30 years old. You're in a job that you hate, that you keep complaining about. You're not making enough money. You're having to borrow money from friends and family every single month to pay your car payment and all sorts of stuff. And yet there you are, dating women that you don't want to be with in the future. Come on, man. Get your priorities in order. Take care of you. You don't have to be a millionaire to start dating women, but for goodness sakes, man, if you're unemployed and you're struggling to make ends meet, the last thing that should be on your mind is dating a woman. Should be the last thing. Get yourself in a stable position where you can afford to have a roof over your head, a car to drive, and some money left over at the end of the month. Then you can start thinking, oh, this girl's pretty sweet. Let me take her out for dinner. And if you're a guy that is bored of the hot and cold dating scene. You know, maybe some days girls are into you, other days they're not into you. And you're just fed up and you want something more meaningful. Maybe you're bored of hookup culture, right? Then you've got to identify what it is that you want in a woman. What is it that you want? What are the core values that are important to you? If you don't know what those are, you're just going to tolerate any situation. Have non-negotiables. No, this is important to me. My faith is important to me. My family is important to me. Right? Children are important to me. You know, you'd be surprised. Some guys don't ask that question about how many children do you want, only to find that later on the woman doesn't actually want kids. And now you're in love with a woman who doesn't want to have your kids. And now you're going to have to end the relationship, right? Guys don't ask these questions. If religion's important to you, going to church on a Sunday or going to the mosque, praying, practicing your faith, if that's important to you and you started seeing a woman that is on the polar opposite, it doesn't mean she's a bad human, but her lifestyle choices are completely different to yours. You might tolerate that in the beginning because you're so seduced by her. You're in awe. You're infatuated. You're like, oh my God, she's so beautiful, whatever. But that's important to you. That core value will still be there. And you might brush it under the carpet initially, but later on it's going to bother you. It doesn't go from under the carpet. It's still under the carpet. And you're only delaying the inevitable. Whenever you tolerate a situation that is not favorable, you are only delaying the inevitable. It will hurt later on. A lot more than it will hurt right now if you cut it off early. But better yet, if you never get yourself in a situation like that to begin with. And the reason and the way that you don't get yourself in a situation like that is by knowing what you want. Okay? You know, your spirituality and the other element that I touched on. You know, what is your spirituality like compared to this time last year? Is your relationship with God, if you believe in God? I know not every single one of you that watches my channel believes in God. But if you believe in a higher power, what is your relationship like with the higher power? Have you tapped into that? Have you read more into your faith? You know? All of these things you have to focus on, gentlemen. Because, look, and I say staying the same. In reality, you're either getting better or getting worse. There is no staying the same. That's just the truth. So sit down with a journal today and write down how you feel your life is going right now. Keep it real. Don't sugarcoat nothing. Because the first step to change is awareness. You cannot change something that you're unaware of. It's awareness. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a like, comment. Let me know what you think down below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. See you in the next one.